Ever caught yourself pointing out someone else's errors only to realize you might be making the same ones? It's almost like looking in a mirror and seeing someone else's reflection. Strange, isn't it? But what if changing this one habit could transform your life? Hello, everyone. I'm Gayan, and you're watching The Motivation Zone at Freedom. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that touches each of us, yet often goes unchecked: the habit of criticizing others while ignoring our own faults. This isn't just about being kinder or more polite, it's about freeing your mind and cultivating a genuine sense of self-awareness. Why is self-awareness so crucial, you might ask? Well, it's the first step towards personal growth and true freedom. But here's a question to kick things off: have you ever noticed how easy it is to point out someone else's mistakes? Let's explore why that is, and how shifting this one habit can not only change the way you think but also dramatically improve your relationships and personal well-being. Now, let's delve into a powerful metaphor that many of us have heard before: when you point one finger at someone, 3 fingers point back at you. This saying is more than just a playful reminder from our childhood, it's a profound lesson in self-awareness and personal responsibility. But where does this metaphor come from? Though its exact origins are unclear, its truth is recognized across many cultures and philosophies. In Buddhism, there is a similar emphasis on introspection. The Buddha taught that before we judge others, we must first examine ourselves thoroughly. This teaching aligns with our metaphor: as you point outwards, 3 fingers curl back, symbolizing that we should reflect on our own faults and behaviors 3 times as much as we notice in others. Let me share a relevant Buddhist story that illustrates this point. There once was a monk who became disturbed by the behavior of his fellow monks in the monastery. He began to criticize them openly for their lapses. The abbot of the monastery called him and set a task: to fill a basket with water from the river each morning and make sure it was full until evening. The monk struggled as the water kept leaking out. After several days, the abbot explained that just like the basket couldn't hold water, focusing on others' faults without reflecting on one's own was futile. The monk learned that true improvement begins within, not through criticism of others. This story, while simple, captures the essence of the pointing fingers metaphor. It's not merely about refraining from accusations, it's a call to turn the mirror towards ourselves and ask, in what ways can I improve? It encourages us to recognize that while it's easy to see the flaws in others, it takes much more courage and honesty to see them in ourselves. As we move deeper into the essence of mindfulness and self-improvement, let's explore the rich Buddhist teachings on self-reflection versus critiquing others. Buddhism places a significant emphasis on the inner journey, teaching that the path to enlightenment is primarily found through introspection and self-correction, rather than through the external critique of others' actions. In Buddhism, there's a fundamental belief that each individual is responsible for their own karma, the sum of a person's actions and their ethical consequences. This perspective encourages us to look inward and examine our own actions, thoughts, and motivations. The Buddha himself taught that, to refrain from evil, to do what is good, and to purify the mind, this is the teaching of the Buddhas. By focusing on purifying our own mind and actions, we set ourselves on a path to true enlightenment, which is achieved not through judgment of others but through personal transformation and ethical living. This process of self-reflection and correction can lead to significant personal growth. When we begin to honestly assess our own behaviors and the motives behind them, we start to uncover layers of our personality and psyche that we might have ignored or suppressed. This deeper understanding of oneself is crucial for developing qualities like empathy, patience, and wisdom. It shifts our focus from the faults of others to our own opportunities for growth, fostering a more compassionate and tolerant attitude towards everyone around us. Let's consider how this practice plays out in daily life. For instance, if you find yourself irritated by someone's behavior, Buddhism teaches us to use that moment to reflect on our own reactions. Why does this behavior trigger such a response in me? What does this reveal about my own state of mind or my own expectations? This kind of questioning not only helps in managing our reactions but also deepens our self-awareness and reduces the habitual tendency to react negatively. In this section, let's delve into the rich tapestry of human diversity, focusing on the variety of strengths and weaknesses that each of us possesses. Understanding and embracing this diversity is not just about recognizing that everyone is different, it's about appreciating how these differences contribute to the vibrancy and effectiveness of our communities. Every individual brings a unique set of skills, perspectives, and experiences to the table. Some might excel in analytical thinking and problem solving, while others shine in creativity and emotional intelligence. These variations are not just incidental, they are essential for the complex interplay that drives innovation and social cohesion. When we acknowledge and accept these differences, we foster an environment where everyone can contribute and flourish. This acceptance is key to building empathy among people, as it allows us to appreciate why others may think or act differently from ourselves. Consider a workplace scenario, a team composed of members with diverse skill sets, including a visionary, a tech guru, a people person, and a meticulous planner. When these individuals collaborate, they are able to address challenges more comprehensively than if all members had similar strengths. The visionary might come up with big ideas, the tech guru can implement them, the people person ensures the team remains harmonious and motivated, and the planner keeps everything on track. This synergy can lead to extraordinary results that wouldn't be possible without such diversity. Another example is in community projects. When diverse groups come together, be it in age, cultural background, or expertise, they bring different perspectives that can lead to innovative solutions to local issues. For instance, younger participants might bring fresh, tech-savvy ideas, while older members provide historical context and wisdom. This blend of insights ensures that solutions are not only novel but also grounded and practical. While self-reflection is crucial, there are times when we must address the mistakes of others, particularly those close to us. This can be a delicate balance, as the way we approach these situations can significantly affect relationships and personal growth. It's important, therefore, to correct others not just with honesty but with compassion and respect. Firstly, when you need to address someone's mistakes, choose a private setting. Public criticism can lead to embarrassment and defensiveness, which are barriers to effective communication and personal reflection. A private conversation ensures the individual feels safe and respected, making them more open to what you have to say. Secondly, approach the conversation without judgment. Start by expressing your intentions clearly, that you are speaking from a place of concern and care, not from frustration or anger. Use "I" statements to communicate how their actions affect you, rather than accusing them directly. For example, say, "I feel concerned when I see this happening," instead of, "You always do this wrong." This technique helps keep the conversation constructive and prevents it from becoming confrontational. It's also vital to acknowledge the strengths of the person while discussing their weaknesses. This balanced approach not only softens the impact of the critique but also reminds them of their value and capabilities, which can motivate them to improve. For instance, you might say, "I've always admired how dedicated you are to your projects, and I think this small change could make your work even better." Lastly, ensure that the dialogue allows for their perspective to be heard. Encourage them to share their thoughts and feelings about the situation. This not only helps them feel understood but also promotes a mutual understanding, which is key to resolving issues effectively and strengthening relationships. As we wrap up today's discussion, let's briefly recap the essential themes we've explored. We started by understanding the metaphor of pointing fingers, which reminds us that while it's easy to see faults in others, true growth begins when we turn our gaze inward. Self-reflection is not just about acknowledging our flaws but also about embracing the opportunity to better ourselves. We then delved into the rich lessons from Buddhist teachings, which encourage us to look inward to correct our own actions and errors as a path to enlightenment. This inward focus is crucial for personal growth and developing a profound understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. We also discussed the importance of embracing human diversity, recognizing and valuing the unique strengths and weaknesses that each person brings to the table. This acceptance enhances empathy and understanding across different walks of life, making our interactions more meaningful and our communities more cohesive. Finally, we talked about correcting others with compassion. When addressing mistakes, especially those made by people close to us, it's vital to approach these conversations with respect, privacy, and a balanced perspective. This not only facilitates personal growth but also strengthens relationships. Now, I challenge you, my viewers, to put these principles into practice. For the next week, try to focus more on your own behaviors and less on the faults of others. Observe how this shift in perspective affects your interactions and your mental well-being. Share your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear how this approach works for you. Remember, the journey towards a more mindful and empathetic life starts with a simple but powerful shift in focus. Let's make that change together. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to The Motivation Zone at Freedom for more insights on living a more mindful and fulfilling life. Until next time, keep reflecting, keep growing, and keep embracing the beautiful diversity of the world around us.